And welcome back to Theory Pre-Med Pre-Game. Today we will be talking about things that we learned in our classes before we start off our episode. So, Mo, Todd, and Nathan, what have you guys learned?
Yeah. What's going on?
So this is like our our intro. So okay. So just to recap, what this is like it's our before intro. It's just our little pregame segment where we're going to do a pre-med pregame where we're gonna go over one thing that we learned this week from any of our classes, except it can't be from the same class as last week.
Oh,
Right.
Yes,
So
sir.
we can't do biochem.
well, you did comp sci. I did neuroscience.
No, I did biochem last time, so I could do comp sci. This
Yeah, he did.
But you talked about your game.
That was like
he-
a fun thing.
That was this fun thing, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Why are you trying
I
to
got
limit
one.
me, bro?
No, I thought you did comp sci.
Yeah.
And then okay, sure.
All right, I learned something.
DNA dinos. I want to hear DNA.
It's
dinos.
actually my leadership class
Oh,
this
okay,
week. I'll
let's do
probably
it.
do something from DNA Dinos next week.
All right.
But Leadership 301 is the class that I'm in right now. Basically goes over a lot of like theories about leadership and different styles that leaders usually use when, conducting their followers or supporting their followers. So the theory that I learned about this week, and I actually wrote a big long essay about,
Oh.
is path goal leadership. Basically, path goal leadership is a leadership theory where the leader is able to kind of shift between four different behavioral styles in order to kind of like account for his followers' personalities and how they respond to leadership. So, for instance, the four styles are, I believe, directive, supportive, achievement-oriented, and there was a fourth one, which I'm forgetting, but I'll remember
You better know for the
my
test.
gosh.
Yeah.
Better know for the test.
You read a big paper on it.
it. I can find it. But anyway, so we did a test. So every student in the class did a test to see how they ranked on the four leadership styles within path goal leadership. And I believe I was ranked the highest out of the four on supportive. So I'm like the test said that I was more of a supportive leader than anything else, which was really surprising to me because a lot of like what the theory was about was that supportive leaders are they I guess they support their followers so much and there's like a relationship between the leaders where it's like equal relationship. And I thought that was interesting because I'm not sure how many leaders in the real world actually try to have an equal relationship with their followers, kind of like a friendship level sort of relationship. I know that's hard to do if you have some sort of authority or power over people. And so, but a lot of followers respond to that type of leadership. So it's something that I can start working on myself in my leadership roles. So that's like
Nice.
the gist of it.
Cool. What about you?
Why do I have to go first?
Okay, I can.
I'm just kidding. I'll go first. So I guess I'll talk about anthropology. So I'm taking it for my GE as a GE course, and I think last lecture we basically talked about kinship. So kinship is the network of social structures and like relationships between yourself and the people that are close to you. So typically, especially in the United States, you have like your mother, your dad, right, and then you have yourself, and then you have like your siblings. But then once you kind of venture out and look at different cultures, who you might call uncle or aunt, those cultures might call them father and mother. If you look at cousins in certain cultures, those are actually known as brother and sister. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because this kind of goes into the way you inherit things. So in certain cultures, here I have it pulled up. It's called matrilineal, and then there's patrilineal. So
Oh, yeah, I learned about this.
yeah,
And,
so
yeah.
for patrilineal, it's like male to male passing down, and it's like very exclusive. Like the father passes it down to son passes it down to their son, and a lot of the time females don't get much out of it. And the reason for that is because in those cultures, a lot of the females are kind of looked at as a fortune for the family, where they'll quote unquote trade the female to another family for goods or a higher social ranking within their little global society. And then you have matrilineal, where it's woman to woman passing down, and men don't get much inheritance. And I'm not too sure exactly what that results into. But the one that we live in, it's bilineal, so that's where you kind of just everyone gets a fair amount of things, depending on what the family member wants to give and stuff like that. So that's what I learned in anthropology this week.
Nice.
That's cool.
I guess I'll talk about sickle cell anemia because that's from
that?
biochem. Sickle cell anemia is caused by a mutation. I guess the change in amino acid.
So it is a mutation.
Yeah, it's glutamate 6 changes to valine 6.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
And that causes sickle cell anemia, which
I think it's
basically
glutamine.
Maybe.
it was GLU. So
GLU is
glutamate.
Glutamine.
No.
GLU
Oh, no,
is
glutamate. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
stupid. No, bad.
GLN is glutamine.
Yeah. Know your amino acids.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is that amino acid shift causes the actual protein in causes your red blood cells to kind of adopt this more fibrous shape rather than having like the circular disc shape that is normal. And what can happen is these can like clot and they can like get bundled up together and can be bad for you. And heterozygous for sickle cell anemia actually makes you more
She's super
Yeah,
immune to
Malaria, right?
Malaria, yeah, because what was it? It was different from what I knew before.
Because
it
the wasps and
No, it's not why.
No,
That's what I
yeah,
thought.
That's what I thought at first
But
too.
it's not. The reason for it is because I think it was your kidneys.
Oh,
Your kidneys filter out the sickle cell blood cells.
I think
And for that reason, it takes a lot of those viruses or the disease out of.
Okay.
yeah, it was the kidney or the spleen.
I think it might be the spleen actually.
Because I mean, spleen filters blood.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but basically, what happens is it removes those blood cells, which makes them less likely, like it kills or destroys them, which makes them less likely to give you the virus.
oh yeah,
Pretty cool.
Nice.
But I did think too that it was.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was the wasp didn't like the sickle cell blood.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, there's no way for the
To tell.
the wasp to
Yeah.
know, or the mosquito.
They
It's a
can
mosquito.
smell it.
They smell
Oh,
it.
mosquito.
what I
That's
thought.
what I
That's
meant.
what I
The
thought.
mosquito.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think
Um,
that's a common misconception.
Yeah, that is cool. In the Can't Paint a Turtle that I've talked about a little bit on this podcast, I went with hemophilia, and that was like a week dedicated to people with hemophilia. But since sickle cell anemia is also a blood disorder, we had the people with sickle cell anemia there too. So like a lot of like the kids around me had sickle cell anemia, and it was pretty cool. I got to learn a little bit about it like that. So it's kind of similar because it's a blood disorder, but hemophilia is a bleeding disorder, so there's a distinction. But yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, take us into the Premeds theory.
All right. So today on Theory Premed, we will be learning about fatigue, sleep, and caffeine. Or
We gotta
we'll be
introduce it.
talking
Yeah, bro.
about
You gotta
it.
give us the full intro, man.
All right.
Put
Theory
some
Premed.
respect on the Theory Premed name. man.
Absolutely. Theory Premed is a podcast following the journey of three students, Mo, Todd, and Nathan. We talk about our path and experiences as we bring in guests who will connect pre-meds worldwide. We got to bring in some more guests, guys.
Yeah.
If you're
hopefully
thinking
soon.
about med school or healthcare, our podcast will give you the ultimate student perspective. Also, thank you to Chapman Radio for giving us the space to record today.
Before we get into today's topic, though, some exciting things that we are kind of getting involved in with Chapman Radio is we're applying to the ISB, which is like the international or the
IBS.
What?
Isn't it IBS?
It is IBS. Did I say ISB?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. IBS. And basically, that's just like an award between all the colleges in the nation. And hopefully, we've submitted a couple clips that we've had. It was actually really cool going back and listening to kind of what we were thinking of and just different things like that, and how the podcast has evolved. I remember listening to
know.
the first one. We were super shy, but now we're kind of getting more comfortable and things like that.
Yeah, I love listening to some of the old ones. Like, I just started listening to the Evelyn episode, and I just kept listening to it because it was, like, actually entertaining to me.
Totally.
So I find it hard to, like, stop listening and be like, oh, I have to continue on to other clips because, like, I really, it was really cool looking at, like, the past, and hopefully we'll be able to put out some more entertaining content.
There was
as
actually
well.
some pretty good content from that episode. It was just so unfortunate because of like the bad audio quality.
Yeah.
Since we recorded from his
It wasn't
computer.
that bad, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fine. We want the best for our submission there. But yeah, we did submit to the ISB and
IBS.
IBS. My bad. That's all on me.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. You're good. IBS, and hopefully we'll hear back from that pretty soon. So.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
And just to
Fingers
mention,
crossed.
that episode that they just talked about is the med school insight from a dean of admissions. So just to plug that episode in, go listen to that one.
Highly recommend.
It's a pretty good one. Actually,
good one.
it gives a lot of info about
From an admissions point of
yeah.
view.
Well, I mean, from the dean of admissions point
Yeah.
of view, so
Literally.
it's even more valuable.
Yeah.
We might have something coming up that's very similar, but with different med schools. So,
Ooh, little
All right.
teaser.
all right. Well, that's enough of little teasers and all.
Teeter.
Teeters. I'm hungry. Okay.
I just
Anyways,
ate pizza.
Nathan, take us into today's topic. What are we going to be talking about?
Today we are talking about fatigue. How, as pre-meds, we manage to deal with like sleep loss and fatigue. And the quick answer is
Food. I'm saying
we don't. We have a lot of sleep loss, so we're just gonna be talking about that. So as pre-meds, we lose some sleep, like doing homework and stuff. But how much sleep do we lose every night? What do you think? What's your
How much
sleep
sleep did you get
schedule like?
yesterday?
Yeah, well, how much sleep do you get?
How much sleep do I get?
Yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday.
Okay, well, yesterday was slightly different because I did go to a musical with Abby,
I saw that on Instagram.
which was really fun. We went to go see Hamilton at the Segerstrom, and it was awesome. I got home at like 11, and then I didn't go to sleep because I stayed on the phone with Abby until like midnight. So I got to sleep at midnight. I didn't have any homework to do last night.
That's nice.
Not
So,
too bad.
Typically, what time do you go to sleep though?
Typically 1 or 2.
1 or 2?
Yeah, I try to get a lot of sleep, and then I wake up at like 7.
That's how you know it's bad when he was like, I go to sleep at 1 or 2.
And then I try to get a lot of
Yeah.
sleep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
What do you wake up at 7 for?
7:30 to like eat breakfast, do laundry, homework.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah.
What about you, Todd?
Wait, you eat breakfast, do laundry, and do homework in the
Well,
morning?
no, I don't do homework usually.
Homework.
So if I have some homework to do, then
Some
I do it.
leftovers.
Yeah.
Wait, what time do you start on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Tuesday I have cope shifts at 6 a.m.
Oh, you do cope during the week?
Yeah.
That's some
Dang.
dedication right there.
Well, so what time do you start
I
class
like having
then?
the weekends. I start class. I don't have class on Tuesdays, but I do have a lab on Thursday. Starts at 1. But I'm usually at school like 10 or 11 to meet up with professors for SI.
You have no homework on Tuesday? Or, I mean, you have no classes on
Really?
Tuesday?
I didn't know this.
No, I don't. I dropped
What?
anatomy.
What?
Yeah, I
That's
don't
so
have
cool.
classes
Oh my
on
gosh.
Tuesdays.
That's so nice.
I've told you guys this before.
That's
but
so
Maybe you
nice.
forgot.
Yeah, I'd forgotten. What about you, Todd? When do you go to sleep?
For me, I generally go to sleep these
Can I
days.
guess?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, these days it's been 2, and I really don't like it. Because back last year, I used to be like, okay, I'm only gonna have to go to sleep at 2, not that many times, because after I go to sleep at 2 for a few nights in a row, I start to feel it. I'm just like, I get so like I just feel it.
The realities of a pre-med right there.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, and it wasn't that bad last year because there would only like during some busy weeks is when I'd sleep at 2.
Yeah.
But now it's like consistently at 2, and it's awful.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
only this year though, because in the past, it was-
But like on the times when I don't have a ton of things to do, I'll generally try to sleep around 12 or 1, generally closer to 12. So basically either like 12 or 2.
Mhm.
There was one day this week that I was able to sleep at 12, and it was so nice. Like I literally felt so rested the next day. And
was
then
it Tuesday night?
no, it was Thursday night.
Oh, after
But-
your test or whatever it was, your quiz.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
You know-
Anyways, but what happened was I was like the next day I was so energized. Or I guess it had to happen Wednesday. It was Wednesday, and then because Thursday, because last night like I was so energized the whole day that I was able to just like stay awake until like 2 the next day. Which I mean, it's whatever but I don't know. One night of like 9 hours of sleep did so much for me. It
Yeah.
was so nice.
That's true. I've definitely noticed that. Whenever you get that extra hour or 2, dude, the next day you're firing. You're like on 10 cylinders, dude.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For
So-
me, I would say I'm definitely in the same boat as Todd. It's either 12 or 2.
Right.
There's never a
Right?
1.
Yeah, it's never
'cause
one.
you're- if
You ever
you're
go to
already-
sleep at 1?
What?
You never go to sleep at 1?
No, it's
Not
just
really.
weird because like if you're like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. Might
Yeah,
as well stay up
actually,
till
you're
2,
right.
you know?
We've talked about this on
Yeah.
the podcast before,
Yeah.
where like 2 o'clock is like, wow, it's 2 a.m. I better go to sleep because you don't want to stay up till 3.
Yeah.
Like 3 is like you're crazy, and then 1 is like, oh, I can stay up another hour. So we've said that before, and that is so true.
So it's either 12
I feel
or
that
2.
a lot.
I think yesterday I slept at 12, and today I'm feeling great, honestly.
Like, yeah, it's so much. It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so much better when you're able to sleep more.
But then
I feel good.
sleeping at 2, it becomes a norm. So then your body kind of like adjusts to that time. And in 6 hours, I feel like just getting 6 hours of sleep as a pre-med is like a pretty good goal. And then you could go up and down depending on the week. Like when we were doing our submissions for the award for Chapman Radio, I stayed up till like I think 3:34. And then like next day I was just done.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then that's where I had to like drink like a crap ton of coffee. And I try never to drink coffee in the morning because I'm pretty lactose intolerant. So if I'm drinking coffee in the morning, it's serious.
Yeah, I think this week I think it was Monday because I was writing the biochem lab report, and I really wanted to get it done on that Monday so I'd have time for other stuff on the other days. I'm pretty sure I stayed up till like 3. Maybe not 3. Actually, maybe like 3:30.
No
I stayed
way.
up really late for it because I needed the time to do other stuff like later on in the week. So I just was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm just gonna suffer this like today. So
That's pretty
I was
smart.
up late on
I'm
Monday.
actually glad you brought that up because I feel like a lot of the time where you stay up to like 3 or 4, it's because there's an exam or a big quiz coming up that week where you just try to get as much done as you can earlier on in the week. So then you have that day before the quiz or before the exam to just study. In a way, it might not seem as effective, but I think it is because that day you're able to get your studying done and all that stuff and still sleep early. If you had all that extra stuff, like for example, let's say he had to finish up his lab report on that day before his quiz, then he would have most likely had to stay up a little later to study. And I think it kind of works out or it helps out. It's pros and cons really. That's all it is.
I really had to push myself that night because I still had like a whole page right and it was like 2 and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna grow up. I'm gonna buck up and I'm gonna do this. And I did it.
Well, good work. Yeah, I haven't stayed up past like 2:30 like in a really long time, and I think that's good. Definitely 11 or 12 is like an early night for me, and then 2 is like kind of my latest. So I do try to get like 6-7 hours.
But I would say the biggest thing though, I know like whenever you do kind of get, let's say 4 hours, 5 hours of sleep instead of your 6, you're gonna be grumpy the next day.
Yeah.
It's just human nature.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
try your best not to get that kind of spread to another person. And just try to smile whenever you can.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're gonna be understanding that you didn't get that much sleep. You're doing a lot of stuff and all that, and life happens. But don't just start like ruining other people's day because of it. And I think
Yeah.
that's like the biggest thing to take away from this is you might stay up, you might do all that, but that's your own choice in the day. And a lot of it comes down to planning, and we're not all great at planning, and that's okay. And it takes time to practice that, but just don't let that ruin someone else's day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Sorry, I have one more question before we move on, unless this is later on. But have you guys ever pulled an all-nighter?
No, surprisingly for
that's a
college,
good
I haven't.
question. For college I haven't. In high school, okay. I gotta have some stories about it. So okay, I've only pulled 2 all-nighters in my life,
Really?
and none of them have been in college. They were in high school, and they weren't for school. They weren't because of
That's what I was
school.
gonna say.
No, you were
Like,
absolutely right about
That's what I was
that.
gonna
Yeah.
say. The only time I've ever pulled an all-nighter, or I mean, I've pulled a lot of all-nighters, but it's always been during the summer-ish times, or even I think in high school I have during the school year where like a new map dropped for like Black Ops 2 or like
Yeah.
Call of Duty or something. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay up, I'm gonna play this with all my friends, and it's high school.
Yeah,
you're there to
like,
have
yeah,
fun,
Of
you know?
course.
So- Yeah, one time was because basically like, I had one of my friends was going through like some stuff, and basically I was just talking to them for a really long time, and by the time it was like all resolved, it was like 6 in the morning or something.
I relate.
And
to
then by that time I was
yeah.
like,
Might as
"Alright,
well stay up."
whatever." Yeah, so that was one time.
But I will say those all-nighters you pull for like playing video games with your friends, one of the best nights ever.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because I remember like we would I would pull all-nighters mining for diamonds in Minecraft with all my
Yeah,
friends.
dude.
We'd all be on like Discord, just enjoying our time.
Definitely.
And that's where like a lot of the inside jokes also come.
Yeah.
When you're super late and you're just like your two brain cells are just kind of barely functioning.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, I'm just gonna say whatever's on my mind. And a
Yeah.
lot of the time they lead to very deep conversations about things, and it brings people closer.
It
too.
is interesting.
I always like having, like for me it was always like 3 a.m. Like 3 a.m. is when I would like log off. I'd be like, all right, time to go to bed. But then like after you've been playing like for so long, it's just like it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I just like it's a good feeling. We should do that over like.
The summer.
Yeah, let's pull
Well,
an all-nighter.
The
play
day
games.
before our senior year.
Well, I was just talking about like,
That would be so.
I was just talking
oh
about
my
playing
God.
video games over
Yeah.
like over Thanksgiving break or something.
Thanksgiving
but,
break?
like, or
When we
not
go,
to say,
if we
or
end up
enter term
visiting,
again.
if we end up visiting A&M, we should do it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next day
live
we
stream,
come,
live stream.
live stream, 24-hour live stream.
That would
We
be
show
awesome.
up. We show up to the med school to interview their dean. It's like, hello, voice cracks all around.
Yeah. So
This is
yeah.
a pre-med.
Yeah. It's what
Cool.
pre-med is like, Dean. This is what you do to us.
so how much do we wish we slept every night?
8. I think that's a good amount. If you sleep too much,
Yeah.
you I feel like you get tired the next day.
Yeah.
Whenever I
And
hit
you're
that
lazy.
10-hour, oh, it's bad. Like even during the school year, if you get 10 hours of sleep on the weekend, the rest of the day I'm not doing anything. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
Oh,
literally
yeah.
laying in bed watching a movie and just not doing anything.
I wake up from a 10-hour like sleep or nap, and I'm just
Just 10-hour
like,
nap.
well, a very long nap,
10 hours.
and
like, bro, you just went to bed.
and there's no chance I'm getting up within an hour.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just staying in bed.
That's very
so,
true.
I also would say 8 hours. I think 8 hours is perfect. Like it's not too long, but it's also not like too little.
You're satisfied with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like when you wake up, you're not just exhausted where your body is just like, I don't know. What are those? There's certain proteins that are made when you're sleeping.
Melatonin.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, whenever
it's
your body
definitely
has a
one
lot
of
of that, then it kind of
Like what people like the supplements people take to sleep.
no,
That,
it's
like
not.
well, it's also made by the body.
Yeah, there's another protein that like causes your face to like puff up too and all that. I don't know.
you mean hormone?
Well, I don't know, but I'm not in
Yeah,
med
it could
school
be a
yet.
hormone.
It could be anything. So whatever happens whenever you're sleeping, I feel like it's not produced as much.
Yeah.
It's only produced a lot after 8 hours, at least in my
Yeah.
case. So 8 hours is a pretty good time.
Yeah. So okay, here's a question that I had that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. What do you think about sleep debt? Do you think sleep debt exists?
No.
So for people who
Todd
don't
is a
know,
believer of this.
I'll comment on this. But sleep debt is basically like exactly what you'd think it is. So sleep debt is when you don't sleep for like say you need to get 8 hours of sleep and you sleep for 6. That means you're behind 2 hours and you keep doing that. You just keep adding on 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours that you're behind. And so it eventually adds up. And it's kind of just like a debt basically.
Yeah, you know why it doesn't exist is if you had some kind of bank with like the amount of hours that you're in debt, then theoretically you could sleep for that many hours like without waking up. You know what I mean? And just cash it all in at once.
Cash it all in at once.
Yeah.
Here's my voucher for 140 hours. Of
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah. But no, you can only sleep for a certain amount of time. Your body wakes you up no matter what. So I think, and you feel refreshed.
Yeah, but think about it. Whenever
You feel
there's a
fine.
lot of people who, let's say, have gone without sleep for like 5 days straight, but then they sleep for one day, like 12 hours, and boom, they're back. They're like normal.
I don't know. I
Exactly.
don't know anyone who's ever done that.
No,
Yeah.
but that's like a thing that happens. Like
Yeah.
depending on what's going
I
on.
think like the body only needs like 10 or 12 hours to get right back on track, like after losing a lot of sleep.
Because at a certain point, like I feel like your body just kind of stabilizes, right?
Yeah.
And then like homeostasis, right? So if we're trying to bring some pre-med knowledge into this. So
Okay.
if once you kind of start going without sleep for 5 days straight, that's gonna go down. But then once you go back to sleep for that 12 hours, it's just enough time for your body to gain that homeostasis back, and then just start balancing out again. Because whenever you let's say you go without sleep for like an extra 2 hours, so you only got 4 hours of sleep for one night, it's just gonna dip down a little bit. It's gonna be this like sine graph type thing, and then it's once you start getting energized again, it's just gonna flatten out again. So that difference,
Yeah.
it's not really that big, but those 12 hours are just enough for your body to gain that energy back, really. But Todd, I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
he has something
Todd,
else to
you-
say.
Yeah, so I was actually curious about this. So I asked one of my professors about it. I was like, "Hey, do you think sleep debt exists?" And she said, "Yeah."
Really?
Yeah, and I think it does exist, but also I don't think it's as linear as okay. I'm not gonna feel good if I lose like a total of 8 hours of sleep during this past week. I'm not gonna just like automatically like feel better, like feel normal by like quote repaying it. I think it's just that if you sleep, if you lose 1 hour of sleep every day, like it's progressively gonna be like it's gonna get worse and worse. Like if we sleep at 2 for 3 days straight, then the
That's
second day
true.
is gonna be a little worse, and the third day is gonna be a little bit worse than that. Like you'll feel more tired as you keep doing it more.
So I
That makes
think
sense.
what it is
But
too.
that's not
So it's not like
debt.
linear. I
But-
think.
yeah.
But that doesn't have to do with debt. I don't think.
No, I think that with sleep debt, it's not necessarily having to catch up on sleep again. It's more of the impact it has on your body long term.
Yeah.
So, for
Uh.
example, if you're constantly getting 4 hours of sleep, you're gonna have wrinkles. Your eyes are gonna have bags, like for most of your life, things like
Right.
that. And your body's immune system isn't going to be as strong, so you're more prone to get sick. So things like that is what I think sleep debt is.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
necessarily
it's
having
not
to
like
catch up on
I
sleep.
think
a literal transaction of sleep. No.
Yeah, I think when the word debt is associated with it, people think of like money, where it's like, okay, I take out like
money.
this X amount of money, I have to repay the same amount of money because that's just well, I mean, interest is also a thing. But just to simplify things, it's like you have to pay back X amount too. So I think it's just when you associate debt with it, it's like okay,
Monetary
paying back,
value.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but basically, so I just don't think it's as linear, but it's still a concept. I think it's
Yeah.
still interesting, and I believe
Do
in it.
research on it. You seem very passionate about it.
If there's
not
one thing, it's
passionate
sleep.
enough.
Not passionate enough.
Imagine how long that would take, though, too.
Dude, you could just do experiments by like sleeping for long. Although you would have to like not sleep.
And you have to have people like agree to like not sleep as much some days.
Specialize
Sleep
in,
more.
in sleep
Yeah.
medicine, then you could do it. You have people
Sleep
constantly
medicine.
coming in, not being able to sleep or sleeping too much. Boom.
Do like
We'll see.
neurology, but only when you're sleeping.
There's actually in OC, I think there's one sleep specialist within like 50 miles of anywhere you are, or I think it's even more than that.
Mhm.
And then if you go to Riverside, there's only one in Riverside.
Really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I got to shadow him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean,
Give me the contact.
that means I have to work at night while they're sleeping.
No, you have people there, like your assistants, nurses and stuff. They're the ones that stay at night. You just review all the videos and heart rate and things like that. The next day you come in.
Well, I'll put a big maybe on that. So next topic.
Yeah.
So when we do have these times when we're super tired, where we're sleeping at 2 every single day, how do we deal with that fatigue? Especially when we have to constantly be pushing out like these, high quality assignments, be studying to get good grades on tests. It's like, how do we do these things when we're so physically drained or so physically tired?
I think a lot of it is obviously devoting specific chunks of times within your day to certain things, and really just setting up a schedule and being consistent. I think as like human behavior, you're gonna procrastinate no matter who you are, whether it's a small extent or a large extent. But when it comes to really just day to day, I think a lot of it is just looking at your goals and seeing if it's worth it. So for us, obviously with medicine, that's what we want to do. This is what we see worth in, right? And it makes staying up that late and really dealing with those type of things worth it because we know the end goal is going to be worth it. But also, if you think about it, our career we're going to have to stay up for 24 hours, 48 hours at a time, especially if we're on call and things like that. So it's something we have to get used to now and learn how to make it part of our life and just deal with it, and still be able to function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I'm finding really funny is that I've yawned like 5 times this episode.
So if you want to see Todd
Oh.
yawn, check out our YouTube video and TikTok to see some yawning compilations.
Yeah.
Yawning compilation. We
Um,
should do over all the episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, it just keeps going rapid. Like yawns.
You make a
It's
beat out of
one
it?
sound. Like you capture the beginning of the yawn and then just continue it for like
You
5
make a
minutes.
beat. You make a beat.
That too. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so I think for me, it really comes down to like planning.
Totally.
So I like to just say, okay, these are the things that I'm doing today, and recognizing that once you get, a certain amount of things done, like it's okay to just to call it a night and just to go to bed. But just having a plan of like, okay, I'm gonna do this today, this tomorrow, this the next day. Like it helps you kind of just get through things. So that way, it's not a matter of I just need to stay up as late as I can to get as many things as I can done. It's like you're more methodical about it. You're thinking, okay, I can do this tonight, do this tomorrow, and this the next day, and that way you can have like a light at the end of the tunnel every single day where it's like I can finally go to bed.
But you also become very good with filling up like your time slots with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
For example, with research, what we're all doing, and Nathan could really vouch for this, is a lot of our reactions take time, and sometimes it's like you have to wait 2 hours or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So between those periods, you start doing things, and that's how you kind of free up like times later in the day to do other things. So the smaller things, like for example, doing a quick coding assignment that I have to do that doesn't require that much brain power. I could just do it between waiting the 30 minutes or 1 hour, and then I won't have to deal with it later. So then when I kind of sit down later in the day and I just have that 4 hour time chunk to just do my homework, I could really focus and dedicate that time to those more heavy load type assignments. Because at least for me, I can't just sit down and work on something for 30 minutes and take an hour break, 30 minutes like that. I
Yeah.
can't do that. I have to really just sit down, get that chunk done, and then move on. For example, the lab report with our discussion, which I've kind of been doing a lot of while Todd has been doing the intro. I know Todd does his like whole like sorting thing, bullet points, and like he comes back to the introduction every day usually or something like that.
No, it's more just like the first time I sit down to write anything, I just write like all the different things that I could possibly talk about. So that way, like that's just like my setting up.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
And then
good.
after that, I
I do.
go
I do that too.
But for me, I
Yeah,
have
too.
to sit down there and really just do, for example, the first unknown, write everything about it. And once I'm done with that, I could take my break or do whatever. So when I come back the next time, it's starting blank and just doing the second unknown and so on. But I can't just like stop halfway through like a thought and just go and do something else and come back because I'll lose that train of thought easily.
Yeah. I don't do that. But
Okay.
like if I'm talking about like chromatography, I'll finish what I'm talking about
Okay.
like chromatography, and then I'll like move on or I'll take a break or something, and then come back and talk about like this specific stains or like this next method that we use or something.
And I think a good rule to kind of think about is, let's say you're planning on spending 30, 40 minutes to do this assignment, right? It's really going to take an extra 10 minutes because that's from the point you sit down and start working on the assignment. I think I read an article and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to really acclimate yourself to that study mode really and start like actually working on something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able like to fully concentrate and start going hard on it like the first minute. It's just not gonna work. Your brain needs time to really just understand everything that's going on and start piecing things together and transition from that like I was playing a video game type zone to okay, I got to start actually working and using my brain to understand this material, learn it, and kind of move forward with it.
Yeah, that sounds about right for sure. But moving kind of back to how we deal with the fatigue, I would say something that, like, kind of going along what Mo said earlier, is we know that we have to do this and maybe times 2 or times 10 in medical school. So when I'm losing sleep, and I feel like I go a couple days in a row, like going to sleep at 2:30, and I just think, I just think, oh yeah, this is exactly how it's gonna be in med school. I better get myself ready for this. So I kind of feel cool in a way doing it.
Cool.
Like I don't know. Can you guys kind of relate to that? Because I feel somewhat cool when I lose sleep.
I
a
feel
little bit.
cool
Yeah.
when it's like very productive.
Exactly.
If it's not productive, then I hate it.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Like when I lose sleep because of school, like I feel like, oh wow, I'm doing like my best. I'm working super hard. Like I just feel cool in a way, and that helps motivate me and helps me manage the fatigue as well, because it helps me like kind of be perked up.
Totally.
So
Yeah. I think I probably used to feel that way, but now I'm just like, oh, I'm tired.
So acclimated to it.
Yeah, because I'm used to it. It's like I definitely get what you're saying, but I think I've had those thoughts before, and so now it's just like I'm
Dang.
tired.
And a lot of it with dealing with fatigue, it's really tricking your brain into thinking it's good. Yeah, it's a happy state. So
Yeah.
throughout the day, just be like, hey, It's whatever, like let's move, like that was last night, whatever, let's now focus on today, and let's hope it doesn't happen again today, type of thing. So I think if you're just constantly reminding yourself like I'm tired, I don't want to do anything, I just want to sleep, then your body is going to go into that mode where it's like I need sleep, like I'm tired, I'm going to shut down. But if you're really just kind of pushing yourself, and this is hard to do too, where you're like, okay, I'm gonna smile today, I'm just gonna enjoy the day, kind of take an hour at a time and get through the day so I can get home later today and kind of be able to sleep. I think that kind of helps you deal with it because it's not just constant like being bombarded by that negative thought. So think positively. I
Yeah,
think that's the biggest
definitely. Feel cool.
thing. Feel cool.
Yeah.
Not sleeping is cool.
It's not cool, guys. Get lots of sleep. But you can pretend it's cool, and then you'll feel better about yourself.
Yeah, one thing that I've been like wondering this week is the thought of like what Nathan was saying about the thought of like staying up late in med school, is that it's like I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, well, I'm already spending all my so much time at school and then staying up until 2. It's not like I have more hours in the day to like to spend, So so I'm like, I wonder if I'll actually be like more more busy.
I think that's a good point, and I
If that
think a
makes
lot of
sense.
it is we're doing so many different things as pre-meds, while in med school you're not going to be doing as many things.
Yeah.
You're not going to have all these like volunteer things that you have to do. Like you're still going to be involved in some clubs, but you're not to as great of an extent as a pre-med, because you're going to be more focused on specific things that you want to focus your career on.
Less variety.
So exactly, you're going to have less things to worry about, but then you're going to be devoting more time to it. So it kind of evens out to the same amount of sleep as a pre-med.
Yeah, I mean, short disclaimer
Hopefully.
though, like
I
we
still
don't really, like,
Yeah,
we don't
this is
know for
literally
sure.
just me trying to
Yeah,
reason it.
It's
I
our,
still
it's our,
think we'll
like our thoughts
probably
because
be-
we have no idea.
Sorry.
This is me thinking positively.
Yeah. I still think we'll be busier and probably lose a little more sleep in medical school.
Hopefully
I mean,
not.
there's going to be like 12-hour shifts and stuff, that we can't get away from. So,
Well, yeah, I think that's more towards residency.
Yeah, it's like third or fourth year.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. I guess it's a surprise that we'll find out.
Yeah,
And that's something we could talk about future med school students that come on the podcast. So,
true.
Yeah.
Cool. So, while we do go to sleep late, it's not like I don't know. I think it's a little unrealistic to be like, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 9 a.m. and I'm going to go to class until 5 p.m. and I'm gonna go home from 5 p.m. till 2 a.m. and work and not take any breaks. Like I feel like it's just so like it's hard to do that. You can't eliminate breaks. I mean, especially when you have to eat and you have to like take a shower. I mean, take a shower, that's important. And like, but like what things do we do that maybe aren't the most efficient with our time? Because I think we're all guilty of that. I know I am. That would allow us to sleep, more
one,
in a perfect world.
I think the
guess.
biggest thing is when you first get into bed after you're done studying, it takes you like a solid 30 minutes to even start pretending to sleep to be able to sleep. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Because-
It depends for me, but
Yeah.
I definitely get what you're saying.
If
a
you're
lot of the
tired
nights,
enough, you'll
yeah.
hit
Yeah.
the bed and literally go to sleep
But
immediately.
most nights you're like, you go on like your phone, start
Yeah,
checking
yeah.
things out, reading about like watching YouTube video or something like
Yeah.
that. And that just adds another 30 minutes to your sleep that.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
like one thing I think a lot of people just like, I don't know, could work on. But at the same time, it's almost like a treat to ending the day. Yeah.
I think we're, at least me, I'm guilty of like TikTok and like
TikTok is
Instagram
a
Oh
reels.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
bro, I think like it steals so much time. Like I like, all right, 5-minute TikTok break, and then
20 minutes later.
Yeah, and then I do 5 minutes on TikTok, and 20 minutes have passed.
Or more. Yeah,
you,
it's
you know they
crazy.
removed
Like, that's what it
they
feels like.
removed the time on TikTok, so you
Yeah.
can't tell how
Yeah.
long you've been on there.
I think sometimes my time is there, but then other times it's not.
Let me see if
But it's really
I'm
weird.
on
But yeah, that thing is a time stealer for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. But yeah, YouTube is the big time stealer for
Yeah, there's
me.
no time.
No
Dang.
time. Like there
No
used to
time.
be like a clock on the screen, right?
No,
That-
Like, well,
you-
just
on
the-
the top corner.
on the top corner that would tell you how long you've been on TikTok.
No, it would tell you
Oh,
what
yeah.
time it is.
Oh, what?
It would tell you like right now it's like 5 p.m.
Oh wait, Todd has it.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
mine has it.
I guess.
But
I guess-
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't.
It's just
so
because
I
he's
don't
got a
know.
better phone than us, bro. Like he's on that iPhone.
Maybe you've been
13. I don't
using it
think it-
so much. They're like, okay, all right, we can't have this guy on here for so long.
Okay, I don't use it. I don't use it that much.
Yeah.
But,
It
but
has some
actually,
pretty entertaining.
let's look on our phones. Let's
Oh, yeah.
see. Let's see how many.
Yeah, we can see. That's so true.
I spend no time on TikTok, so
Screen time.
It's,
Screen time.
it's gonna be 0. I spend 0 time.
well,
on
let's
TikTok.
like see like how
This
much.
is so bad.
Okay. What's your daily average?
Wait, what is
Let's
this?
see. Daily
Okay.
average?
Wait, how do you check it? Daily average?
Dang. Yeah.
No way, this is right. That's
Is-
impossible. I can't possibly. Mine says 17 hours and 40.
17?
That's
No, no, no,
impossible.
It accounts for all your devices.
Oh, because probably yours doesn't connect it to your Mac then.
So mine has my iPad,
maybe.
my Apple Watch, my phone, and my computer.
No freaking way. 17. That's impossible. I don't know.
Okay. Wait. What's
but
your
I do
average?
sometimes I leave my
That's not-
phone
that's not-
accidentally online, like I'm watching a YouTube video and I fall asleep with it on, and it probably counts that as well. So that's a little bit annoying, but
Yeah.
so yeah, my
Mine's not
average
showing,
is
I don't
way
know why.
inflated.
Did you guys just look up screen time in your?
My daily average it says 4 hours. Which-
Yeah, I guess mine's
No, I
like
think
messed
mine is
up.
closer to 6.
Really?
Yeah, I think mine is closer to 6.
Dang.
But no, that's because I have all the other devices. Like I do all my notes on my iPad and everything like that. So that accounts for it.
Yeah,
But I
don't
feel like
know.
if it
4
I feel
hours
like it
is
should be
low if it counts
even
your
more.
Mac.
Yeah.
So
I don't
it
know.
should be more than that.
Because I've had certain days where it's like 17, 18, which is like not possible. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I think definitely setting limits to those type of things. And it's hard too because you'll be eating and you'll watch a YouTube video,
Yeah.
go on TikTok or something like that. But then you're like you've already watched it for 30 minutes. You're like, there's another 30 minutes left,
Mhm.
Let me just get after this video.
Yeah, and then
that just eats up your time.
Do you ever have times when like okay, you're like okay, I'm just gonna watch one video, and
Oh,
then you watch
totally.
one video, and then like that video wasn't satisfying enough, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna watch another.
Or you'll
one.
get like halfway through it and you're like, okay,
I'm
this
bored,
yeah,
yeah.
like all right, next one. And it's just like a loop, dude.
That's how they get. That's how they get you. That's how they
Sometimes
get
I
you.
spend way too long like trying to find the perfect video to
Yeah.
watch while I
Yes.
eat. To watch while I
Yeah.
eat because you have to have something really entertaining while you eat. Yeah, Todd
It has to be-
relates.
It has to be a good video.
Yeah, I mean he's
Because,
gotta have
dude,
his.
the taste of the
Oh,
food
God.
like changes. If
It
it's not a
does.
good episode, you're just gonna be pissed the entire time. You'll be like, I don't want to eat this right now. I want to figure out what's going on with this YouTube video.
Yeah.
God.
So
It's gotta be that good League of Legends video.
Dude,
or
I don't. I
Minecraft video.
don't. I don't watch or play League of Legends that much. Yeah.
Come on, you
Nah.
watch it. You watch.
I
it.
watch
Diamond
I watch
One or
6
Yeah,
minute
you
highlights.
follow esports on it. So.
I only watch highlight reels now though,
Okay.
just from the games.
I watch Smash a lot, so.
yeah,
I
I'm
usually
so
watch
excited
that.
for the new Mario movie.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
So
be
excited.
awesome.
I don't know why people are hating on Chris Pratt, bro. Like, I don't even think it's that bad.
No, I don't think it's that bad.
It's not what I expected, but yeah.
If people are hating on that, I'll take it. That means the rest of the movie.
Do that. Do the
it's-
voice. Do the voice right now.
Wait, what? The Mario voice? It just
Yeah.
sounds like Chris Pratt.
Do it.
Well, but it has some accent.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
That was great. That was great. Good job.
Next award we apply to?
Yeah.
This is gonna be the start of the episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Cool. So one solution that we've talked about to sleep deprivation is caffeine.
Ooh, I love my coffee.
And honestly, I'm not that much of a caffeine drinker. Are you guys?
Yeah, at night I drink coffee every night.
I don't drink coffee
At
at all.
night?
Yeah, 11 o'clock I get my coffee. Iced
Seriously?
coffee. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
What about you, Nathan?
No, I drink no coffee
but
at
it
all.
doesn't work that well on me anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing. Like, oh, it lasts for like
Wait,
an hour and a
so-
half, and then boom.
So what if you don't? What if you have a day when you don't drink it? Does
fine.
anything happen?
No.
So
I don't get like headaches or anything like that if I
Yeah.
don't drink it.
Mm.
So it hasn't gotten to that extent. But what I'll do, honestly, sometimes the downside to it is I'll drink it at 11 because I'm so used to doing that. And usually, for the most part, I could still sleep by like 12, 12:30. But sometimes I'll drink it at like 11 and I can't sleep till like 4. So that's when it works. Every like once in a while that happens and I'm like, oh.
yeah. So is that what? Okay. Well, okay. Let's just talk about some things. So I don't drink. Okay, this is kind of controversial, but I don't like coffee.
Me neither.
Do you guys like the
Not
smell of it?
controversial.
No, I don't like
No,
the smell of
it's
it either.
Are you
weird.
serious?
Yeah.
That's really
I
interesting.
tried to like coffee when I was a kid. Like my mom would give me coffee to try and stuff, and my sister loved it, and I couldn't like it. I liked it
yeah.
slightly better black than with creamer, but either way, bad.
Even
So
like
can't-
I honestly I don't even like coffee flavored things either that much. I mean,
yeah.
the only thing I like is like some coffee flavored candies. I think I like they're fine. But
I-
obviously, it's not representative of the actual taste. But I really don't like. I don't generally like coffee stuff.
I think the reason I like it so much is because as a kid, I was not allowed to like get anywhere close to coffee, and every once in a while, we'd go to this one neighbor, and then every time she would give me a small cup of coffee with like little cookies on the side, and my mom would be furious. But then I love that neighbor because she'd always let me have the coffee, and it was almost just kind of that tease.
Okay.
And the only way, and I think when I turned like 10 or something like that, my parents started allowing me to get coffee flavored ice cream. And that was the go-to. It was straight up. That
Really?
was the only thing I would get no matter what. I'd go to an ice cream store. I'd be like, "Do you guys have coffee flavored ice cream?" No. Next ice cream store.
Dang.
Like, it was like that. And now that I'm able to drink coffee whenever I want and things like that, I'm hooked. It's so good. Sometimes I won't even need it for sleep. I'll just drink it for the taste.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
that's kind of like another thing too is that I actually I drink Red Bulls, but I mean obviously like not very often.
You came in this week
Really?
with it. I think.
Yeah, it was on Wednesday because Wednesday we had our American Medical Student Association meeting from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and I hadn't even started my presentation. Like I had a presentation like the next day for neuroscience,
Wow.
and I hadn't even started it yet. So I was like, God,
Red
I
Bull
need
time.
to, yeah. So I only drink them, but the thing is, I mostly drink them because I think they taste good.
They
I-
do.
Yeah, like
I've never had one.
I don't think that the caffeine really really affects me because I've had some some experiments sometimes where I'm like, man, it's like 7 p.m. Should I drink a Red Bull just because I'm craving it just because it tastes good? So I drink one and I still fall asleep like at like 12. So
Fair enough.
for me, it doesn't really affect me.
I know Bang is going out of business
Really?
Oh yeah.
because they said it was like for false advertising. Monster sued them
Hmm.
for false advertising, and then I think they went bankrupt, so they're closing down. It's because they said it gives you
Wings?
No, it gives you super creatine, and super creatine is not a thing.
Yeah.
So Monster picked up on that and sued them.
So
Strange.
yeah,
Interesting.
I think those are good, but I don't drink them. Most of the time, I don't drink them for the actual caffeine. I just drink it because
For
it tastes
flavoring?
good.
But one thing I have found out that helps a lot is just taking like a quick 15-minute nap in the
Yeah,
middle of the day.
I've done that before too.
And it works. But the one thing about it is when you wake up from that 15-minute nap, you have to get up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get up and you just silence that alarm, you're going to be out.
Yeah.
2 hours are gone easily.
Have you guys ever had a Celsius? I know those
No.
are like really popular right now.
What are those?
Doesn't that have alcohol in it?
No.
No?
But they're supposed to be like the 0 calorie, 0 sugar, like energy drinks. I think that they're 0 calorie,
Oh.
0 sugar. I'm not exactly sure, but they're supposed to be like
I think I've
healthy energy drinks. But it's just another one of the. I mean,
Very
in my
good.
opinion, it's just one of another one of those things that has like sucralose in it. So it says there's like no sugar, but then it's like artificial sugar. So it's still sugar and not that great for you, I think. But the thing about those is that those they're like about the same as like a Red Bull, so they're maybe like this and like that, like pretty thin. But they have like more than double the amount of caffeine.
Wow. I'm going to have
yeah.
to try that.
And so one time
Those
they
eyes
don't
lit up. Caffeine?
they don't take
Yo.
they don't taste bad. They just I think it's the sucralose just makes your teeth feel a little weird.
I wonder
No.
if you could
It's
get
like the
like
artificial
caffeine
sugar.
pills. Is that a thing?
Probably
That would
maybe.
that would kick your ass. Like
Yeah.
honestly, it'd
Um,
wake you up
Yeah.
automatic, like right away. You'd feel it so quick.
Yeah.
I would
so
not.
yeah, so we have that, but then so one time, I think it was last week, I drank it right before neuroscience lab and my brain was like flying. I was like sitting there and I was like, and all these like just thoughts were just like, I was like boom 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 boom, like all these things were just like flying through my head, and I was like, it was wild. I had so much energy. Like it was like, but it's like tired energy. I don't know. It's really weird. Like, do you ever have that where you drink caffeine and you're like you're super tired, but then you're like, you still kind of have energy from the caffeine, but you're just mentally just still like out of it.
Yeah, I think it puts a strain on your brain because your brain is like
Strain
exhausted.
on the brain.
So it's just trying to like catch up to the body and just all that blood pumping, and you just can't. It's just overworking you. Like, yeah, it might get you through the first like hour of the day, but it's just gonna add up. And right when that caffeine kind of just fades away, you're gonna be out again.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the 15-minute method really does work.
Yeah.
So definitely try it out, but make sure you get up. Oh, and then one thing I wanted to mention really quick before we start wrapping things up and get into the most pre-med thing to say is we're not forgetting that today. Is when I was in high school, I decided to take 2 monsters right before practice.
That's a good idea.
That was when I pulled an all-nighter. So that practice, I thought I was going to die, dude. Because we started swimming a lot. I started feeling my pulse in my nose. It was the weirdest thing ever. And then I like felt my heart. It was like, it was crazy. I literally stopped at the wall for like 5 minutes and it was not going down. And then I was stupid and kept on swimming. And when I got out of the pool, I was shaking. I was like,
yeah,
it was so bad.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So don't do that, especially if you're gonna play an intensive sport where your heart rate goes up by a lot. Definitely not the move.
So you can't use caffeine as a supplement to or as a replacement for sleep.
When it comes to
Oh
sports.
no.
Yeah.
Even in general.
Yeah, definitely not. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing to say right at the end.
Yeah. So one last question I have is, besides like that 15-minute nap thing, like what other things can people do to try to feel more energized? I think
Smile.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
That makes sense. It's like a little bit of a psychology thing where it's like I'm telling myself I'm energized, so I am energized.
I am energized.
Yeah. One thing I used to do when I was in high school, I had to wake up at 5:50 every day for marching band, is when it got really cold, what I would do to try to like energize myself and to just like, because it was cold, at least as far as California goes, is I used to like wake up and then play like a fireplace. I'd like really tried to like psychologically juke myself with that, or like I would try to play a fireplace and I feel like it made me feel warmer just like listening to like the crackles and like the fire.
Oh wow.
I used to do that. I don't know.
Your Tesla has that in there, built in. Your Tesla has it built in.
Oh yeah, I know, but
That is good.
do you use it?
No.
Isn't it like the romantic mode or something?
Yeah, romantic mode or something like that.
Oh yeah, Mo never uses that.
I really want to flip you off right
I'm
now.
just kidding.
We got camera mode.
We gotta keep it PG. So
Yeah, I'm just joking.
That's funny.
But another thing that I think is funny, just one last story is, so right before our first general chemistry exam, our freshman year, back when we were online, I like really wanted to do super well on it. I really wanted to make sure that I was like energized and ready to take the test. And so what I did was I woke up early and then I took a cold shower. And then right before the test, I was like jumping around in my room trying to like hype myself up for the test.
I can just imagine.
Because I really wanted to do well. And I was like nervous. And then I sat down.
He's done that too.
Yeah, I sat down.
I've seen it.
I sat down and I started to take the test. And I was like, I'm tired. And I didn't do that great. I mean, I did fine on the test, but I didn't do as great as I hoped for the first one. But I just thought that was really funny because
You tired yourself out.
I think
I tired myself out.
That's actually a
before
good
the
thing to
test.
bring up because I think a lot of the time people, let's say you have a 9 a.m. class, they'll wake up like 8:30 and go to class, but your body is still waking up for that 30 minutes. It's trying to be at its optimal state.
Or 8:59.
Yeah, or something like that. 8:59. At that point, don't come to the test. No, but I think just wake up. Like if you have a big thing going on, whether it's a presentation, whether it's a test, quiz, whatever it is, wake up a little early. It's okay to wake up a little earlier that day and just sleep earlier the night before, just to give yourself some time to really just your body to just wake up and feel good. And if there's any stresses that day, let's say you got an email that wasn't the best news ever, you can kind of deal with that earlier on and it won't be on your mind right when you go into the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get up right away too. Don't spend 30 minutes or an hour on your phone before you even get out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm a culprit of that sometimes. Try to jump in the shower or make some breakfast or something.
Yeah.
To get your energized real quick.
I've tried to do stuff like take cold showers. And it doesn't.
Cold shower, yeah.
No.
That's not
My
good.
roommate takes cold showers
You
every time.
serious?
Yeah, every time I turn on
Weird.
the water, I'm like, I just jump in and it's freezing. Oh my god.
All right. So, what's the most pre-med thing to say?
I've gone to bed at 2 a.m. every single night this week.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's pretty
That's-
good.
we all pretty much said that.
Yeah.
Sleep debt is real,
Yeah,
guys.
this week was rough.
I'm looking forward to this weekend to get some sleep.
I know.
That's another one you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one.
Everyone,
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah. I'll sleep on the weekend. I don't have to sleep right now.
Yeah.
That's
Anyways,
good. All right. Well, to recap, we said that we don't get much sleep, but to combat fatigue, we try to plan out our days and our weeks ahead of time. We feel cool about it. We have a positive mindset, and sleep debt may be real, so watch out for that.
Someone do research on it.
Yeah, and someone do research on it. And caffeine may help, but
I
it's not a
can't-
substitution for sleep.
Yeah, if I do research on sleep debt, it's gonna make me have more sleep debt. I think I'm okay not having that.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening in. Episodes come out every Tuesday at 8 a.m. Make sure to catch our Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias, YouTube, absolutely. So at Theory Premed on all of those. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see ya.
Clocking out. Peace.
Bye.